Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this. There's still people out there fudding that think that XRP and XLM are stable coins, that they're going to be pegged to $1. Remember when the IMF said XRP and XLM are classified as stable coins? Well, David explains it better than I can. Take a listen.
Do you ever see truly stable cryptocurrencies that are not centrally controlled?
Maybe. If any of you are familiar with DAI, which is a crypto collateralized stablecoin, if those projects are successful, those are centrally controlled in that someone has to provide a price feed, but that's about it. It's just a price feed. And so what that is that's something that's like worth $1 because it's a claim on a pool of Ethereum, and the price of Ethereum can change and your claim changes with it. So we could see those types of stablecoin projects. And we could see cryptocurrencies themselves become more stable as they get real-world adoption. Real-world use cases, I think, will lead to stability.
So take notice to what David said there. Once we start to get adoption of XRP and we have financial institutions using XRP for its actual use case, that's going to change the value of XRP. So when people are talking about these major pullbacks once XRP does take off, if utility starts to drive the price of XRP, I think those pullbacks will no longer exist. Because as more and more adoption is happening and more XRP is being utilized for its use case, the price will continue to rise with that. In other words, it just won't be as volatile as it is right now. In other words, you're not going to have major run-ups and then major pullbacks. You're going to have run-ups and then more run-ups and then even more run-ups as more and more value is getting moved by XRP. Now, yesterday I talked about this a little bit, and I should have went more in depth on it. Streamlined global payment solutions for local banks. But they also talk about small businesses here as well. And once banks can offer real-time payments, cross-border payments, it's going to be game-changing for small businesses as well. You know, a lot of people, like a lot of business owners have suppliers that aren't in the United States. They get their supplies shipped in. And if they could get the payment quicker to their supplier, then their supplies will show up quicker as well. So this could help small business in a lot of ways. And in the XRP community, I know there's a lot of people that wanted to always cash out and start their own business. This comes from Baba Cugs. How many of the XRP army aspire to own your own business one day? Would an increase in wealth persuade you to begin building your own path? Would you continue to just live a simple life and work for someone else? Would you like to but feel you're lacking the knowledge and skills needed to execute a business model that is well planned? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, I looked through these comments and a lot of people said they already own their own business. Other people said that they're looking to start different types of businesses. They're waiting to get rich off of XRP, then go on to start a business. But, you know, I always said if I cash out XRP, I'm not going to be wiring houses and businesses anymore. I would probably transform my business into a turnkey business, or I would just buy a couple turnkey businesses. But you got to do your due diligence when you're buying a turnkey business. Now, here's what's great about that if you're planning to do this. Right now, inflation is raging. So when you go and you say you're going to cash out some XRP or some other cryptocurrency, and you're going to buy a turnkey business, once you go over the books, you could see how that business performed while inflation was raging. So it gives you a better idea on what it's going to do in the future. The other thing that keeps me worried about buying into a turnkey business is tokenization, because I think that's going to change things. Remember, they want to tokenize all the small businesses. They want to tokenize everything. Businesses that they don't even own, they want them to become tokenized in the future. And I think that's on that path of you'll own nothing and be happy. I just don't understand how someone else can tokenize a business owned by someone else. But there's so many options out there. And whenever you do start a business, the best way to do it is stay humble. In other words, you don't need the brand new vehicle. You don't need a brand new building. You know, always lease instead of own at first until you establish your business. Then later you could go and build your own business from the ground up. There's a lot of options out there. And what crypto is going to do for a lot of people is it's going to give them the capital that they need to get started. Because every business starts with needing liquidity. And that's what's going to be great about cashing out some of your crypto. It will allow you to follow your dreams, is what I'm saying. And a lot of people want to get into real estate. Housing market is in the biggest bubble of all time. Warns Reviture CEO. This situation is not sustainable. And I've been saying this for a while. I think it's going to start in commercial real estate. And that bubble's going to pop and it's going to flow into residential real estate. But this needs to go back to normal prices. The prices of houses right now are way overinflated. I mean, they priced out an entire generation of people. Most people right now can work 2 and 3 jobs and still not be able to afford to buy a house. And that's what I'm saying. Something needs to break before things start to get fixed, especially here in the United States. They don't fix anything until something breaks first. Is it going to be the banks? Is it going to be the housing market? When one domino falls, it's going to take a lot of other dominoes with it. Breaking: UBS downgrades US dollar to least preferred status, warns of looming decline. So we know the US dollar is already starting to fall. The DXY has been dropping for a while now. But as the US dollar got downgraded, they upgraded the euro, British pound, and Australian dollar. And I think we're going to see more of that. In fact, the Chinese yuan is now the second preferred currency. That's how big the yuan is actually getting. Because countries are going to continue to pull away from the US dollar. It's the same reason I always said there's no way you're ever going to want to cash out your crypto into US dollars. You got to find something else to cash out into. Gold, silver, something other than US dollars. And then a lot of people were asking me once again about ICE 9. And I played one part of the clip, but this is an even more important part, because this talks about a flip of the switch moment. Take a listen.
First, they'll have gone to bed knowing that a massive financial crisis was underway. But when they wake up, they'll find it has worsened and the contagion has spread worldwide. When they go to withdraw money, their ATM will say closed temporarily. When they go to sell stocks, their account will say transaction not available. When they go to their local business, that business will only accept cash if it's open. As citizens realize they're being barred from their money, riots will erupt. It's going to get really bad really quickly.
How would such a freeze actually work? And wouldn't that be highly illegal?
Well, it wouldn't be illegal technically because they've been quietly laying the groundwork for years. They've rigged the financial laws, changed the rules of the game to allow this to happen. The stage is set. They have the levers in place. The lights are positioned. Now someone just needs to flick a switch and they'll impose ICE 9 rapidly. And again, all of this will be legal because they rigged the system.
So we'll all be legal because they rigged the system. And then all of a sudden, when the lights come back on, we will have a new financial system up and running. And that's why I always said you gotta hold on to some of your XRP. Never sell your entire bag. Because this was all planned out long ago, long before crypto. All they needed was the technology to create a new financial system. What's that new technology? It's this handful of ISO cryptocurrencies. That's why I always said, if you're going to diversify, stay inside of ISO cryptocurrencies. Because outside of that, every other crypto is questionable once regulations get here. Because we're going to see a bottleneck in crypto, a bottleneck on the exchanges. And, once this system is in place, everything's going to change so quick. And everybody's going to be telling you, I told you this was coming. Because we're XRP holders. We've heard about this over time. Even the World Economic Forum has been warning of this for a while now. But what happens is, if it doesn't happen instantly, people get complacent and all of a sudden they think things are getting better when they're actually not getting better. You know what the US is really good at? They're good at propping things up, delaying the inevitable. Even now, I think everything's still propped up because it's an election year. Once the election's over, things are going to change very quick, in my opinion. But this has been a warning that we knew of for a long time as crypto holders. The CBI signed contract with 3 big companies, Visa, MasterCard, and MoneyGram. These 3 work with XRP and XLM. We are on the hunt, and we are so freaking close. I bet we are only a few days away. The central bank contracts with an international company that works to develop solutions for banks banned from the dollar. And you see here, plus remember, Trump said that U.S. troops will not withdraw out of Iraq unless they are getting paid. And they are withdrawing in September. But they have to get paid first. Also, XRP has to pay the fine by September 8th. Then the SEC has to state publicly that they won the case to save face, which means at the time, banks have the green light to start using crypto. And this is happening for the first time. International transfers in different currencies other than the US dollar. The delegation of the Central Bank of Iraq in New York announced the start of a new phase of external transfers with the participation of 13 Iraqi banks in an important step aimed to enhancing currency diversification so they could start to transact in different currencies. Keep in mind, this has never ever happened before. And I want to see where this goes from here. But it looks like everything's lining up for XRP and XLM perfectly. Elon Musk's connection to Ripple is no secret. It's always been part of the larger narrative. Remember, Elon and Peter Thiel backed OneCoin, rebranded it to OpenCoin. Then Ripple, under Chris Larson's guidance, they changed the name. That's all that happened. They're just setting the stage for XRP in the new financial system. But this also opens the door for XLM because Elon Musk has ties to Jed McCaleb as well. You see how everything's starting to come together. You could see the massive network already forming. And Elon Musk is also going to be part of that massive network. Then there's this. Infinite money glitch costs TikTokers. A viral TikTok trend claimed Chase ATMs had a glitch, offering free money by depositing fake checks and withdrawing cash before they cleared. Chase is freezing accounts. This is fraud, plain and simple. And this is not a glitch either. Most banks, if you have an account with that bank, when you deposit your check, even if the check hasn't cleared yet, they will clear up some of the funds that you can use them. Now going forward, most likely, this will no longer happen at Chase, unless you're a preferred customer of Chase. Things like this, people, they go out and they do it, and then they show other people how to do it. And people right now are hurting, so of course they're going to try it out. But this just makes matters worse, because now these people's accounts are like negative 50K and beyond. And there's going to be a lot of fraud charges coming over the next couple of days. Bitcoin has failed to impress the famous gold bug. Peter Schiff issues warning about Bitcoin's wanting momentum. So first he shows how gold is outperforming Bitcoin. Then he goes on to talk about how the money is flowing out of the ETFs. And what I said just the other day is that those ETFs, the hype around them is dying out. So people no longer see a need to hold on to these ETFs. And gold is always going to be a better hedge against inflation. Wait until tokenized gold shows up on the XRP ledger, and people can move the value of gold all around the world in a matter of seconds. That will end the whole idea of Bitcoin being digital gold. And I said that multiple times. But you know, the Bitcoin maxis, they're just not seeing it yet. Everything that's happening now, what it is technology is pushing ahead. And new technology, it will continue to push ahead because a new financial system is now coming, a digital financial system. And once that happens, it's going to leave Bitcoin behind. It's going to become irrelevant. And I urge any retail investor that has money in Bitcoin on this next massive run-up, get out and run from it. Get invested into utility. Utility is the future. Bitcoin is the past. And there's nothing that will ever change my mind on that. The only thing propping up the price of Bitcoin right now is the Tether fraud and retail money. There's some institutional money there, but most of the OGs, the OG Bitcoin holders, there's already starting to shift towards utility. You see them talk about it time and time again. Why is that happening? Because those people are smart. The smart money is always the first one out the door. And the last one out the door is the exit liquidity. And I think a lot of retail investors are going to end up stuck in Bitcoin forever as the price continues to drop lower and lower along the way. But one major run-up is still going to happen. After that, I would not count on any more 4-year cycles. And XRP holders, we are going to get rich off of utility and use case of XRP. But until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.